Welcome to the Monday, July 17th, 2017 regular business board meeting of the Board of School Directors. We will move to audience recognition. It says not applicable.
Presentations and honors.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, got it. Okay. Audience recognition on agenda items only. So if you're interested in providing public comment at this time, please sign in with Ms. LaPera, and there's a 3-minute time limit for those who choose to speak. If you could give us your name and generally where you reside in the district. Are there any speakers?
Not so far.
Okay. And we will now, so we don't have a superintendent's report? Later?
Well, I have an update.
Okay, so, all right. So now we'll approve the minutes from the following Board of School Directors meetings. Bear with me here. June 14th, regular business board meeting. And accept the following committee meeting minutes. June 14th, special meeting of the board, facilities update. And July 13th, facilities and purchasing meeting. Are there questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll have the superintendent update. Mr. Copeland.
It's been a good summer. And believe it or not, we've still got a lot of things going on, a lot of work that's being done in terms of curriculum review and so forth and so on. I got a text message from a principal of a district that I used to be superintendent in, very upset that Lower Marion had a better sports score in the niche report than they did. And so I would report that I just thought that was pretty cool. I won't mention anything else. Also, Mr. Gannon had indicated to me that earlier in the I can't remember if it was spring or late winter, we asked PennDOT to do a review of the area around Remington Avenue in terms of safety, and we got a report back that they did not find any cause of action or problem or anything in that area. Is that correct, Mr. Gannon? That's correct, and that concludes my report.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Copeland. Is this me? This is still you, isn't it?
Oh,
It's been.
sorry.
It seems like it's been months since we've been
I
here,
know.
so we're completely out of sync here.
I'd like to recommend that the Board of School Directors approve the attached human resources actions, HR 1 through HR 4.
There are questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And I inadvertently forgot B, which is part of the HR report. That's to approve the quote from Kronos Incorporate for software and equipment maintenance support for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $53,092.44. Administration recommends the Board of School Directors approves that attached quote from Kronos.
There are questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Educational services, the administration recommends items A through I in one motion. Administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached renewal of Knowledge Matters virtual business subscription in the amount of $12,240 for a 3-year term. Administration further recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached Questar online DRP subscription renewal for 2017-18 school year in the amount of $10,480. Got a lot to do here tonight, Ms. LaPera. This is The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached Achieve 3000 Pro Differentiated Literacy Solution Renewal for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $8,840. Further, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached Keyboarding Without Tears licenses for all students in grades 1 through 5 for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $8,665. The administration recommends under E that the Board of School Directors approves the attached College Board contract renewal for the purchase of PSAT and MSQT test for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $18,239. Further, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached ProQuest license renewal for 2017-18 school year in the amount of $41,160. Administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached contract with College Settlement Outdoor School for HHSIB 9, CIB program 9/19/2017, 9/20/2017, the amount of $7,600. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached Power School Performance Plus renewal for the period of 6/1/17 to 5/31/18 in the amount of $30,429. And finally, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached overnight trip requests. And that's Harrington High School IB going to junior retreat, September 19th to the 20th. Welsh Valley Middle School Water Bound Program, September 27th and 29th. And Ballackinwood Middle School, 7th and 8th grade, 8th grade to the Voices of Change, October 17th to the 19th. In Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, and the 7th grade Communique, October 24th to the 26th, 2017, in Williamsburg, Virginia.
There are questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Starting to feel like Mr. Orlando here. Recommend the board take actions A through I in one motion. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the student services items as listed. Agreement for students receiving non-district education services, SS1 through SS24. The administration further recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached quote from the Achieve 3000 for literacy programs for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $17,580. Further, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached quote from NCS Pearson Incorporated for the Lmsb program for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $14,225. The administration, under D, recommends the Board of School Directors approves the attached full-service training agreement with American Red Cross for first aid, CPR, AED, blood-borne pathogen, and ephedrine auto-injector training for the 2017-18 school year for the fee schedule. Further, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached independent consultant contract with Amy Barnett as a literacy specialist and Wilson training for the 2017-18 school year for a not-to-exceed amount of $25,000. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached contract with Bayada Home Health Care Incorporated for in-school nursing services during the 2017-18 school year at a rate of $49.95 an hour. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached proposal from Pearson Incorporated for learning assessment material and training for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $24,389.23. The administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached service agreement with the Lincoln Center for Family and Youth for transformational education, advanced counseling, help service for the 2017-18 school year in the amount of $153,000. And finally, the administration recommends that the Board of School Directors approves the attached license agreement with Wilson Language Training to conduct Wilson Professional Learning during the 2017-18 school year for a not-to-exceed amount of $18,000.
Are there questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There's second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will now have the report of the facilities. We'll have a facilities update from Mr. Driscoll in the June 14th meeting, followed by the Facilities and Purchasing Committee meeting report, also by Mr. Driscoll.
Thank you, Dr. Van Lynch. So the administration and school board held a facilities workshop in the evening of June 14th, 2017. The principals from the 2 middle schools and 2 high schools presented. I will not go into every detail of that meeting, so we were here for several hours, but the highlights of it were Number one, Bala Cynwyd Middle School will need approximately 12 additional classrooms to manage its projected enrollment growth. Welsh Valley may need about 5 additional classrooms to accommodate its future projected enrollment growth. The cafeteria spaces at both middle schools will need some changes. The district is contemplating renovations for both middle school cafeterias next summer. The demand for additional science classes from the high school students is creating an increased demand for lab spaces. This is happening both at Lower Merion and Harriton. For Lower Merion, those students will continue to utilize the space here in the DAO to absorb some of that enrollment growth. We did also discuss improvements to Arnold Field. We did discuss that Harriton is probably going to need some additional construction to add science labs to meet that demand as it increases. And we did briefly discuss buses. At the present time, the only 2 places that the district owns that can be possibly, and I want to use the word possibly, used for bus parking is changes to the Matson Ford Road facility and possibly Welsh Valley are the only 2 existing school district properties that may be able to accommodate additional buses. I want to emphasize no decisions were made at that meeting. It was just an information. And I also want to point out that there was a public survey that has closed getting public comment or public feedback on possible options for how the school district can manage its enrollment growth. So that's my report for that meeting. My next report will not be as short. I'm sorry. The Facilities and Purchasing Committee meeting met this past Thursday, July 13th at 8:30. Some of these items I will go over, we just discussed and voted on in this board meeting. Our first item was reviewed and recommended for approval the list of bills. We then reviewed and recommended for approval this evening 5 contracts on the purchasing report. First one is for Gallagher Construction Company for $43,000. As part of the regular maintenance to the driveways and parking lots at both high schools, the district needs to fill cracks and reseal the surface and repaint lines where needed. These costs for $43,000 represent approximately half of the areas at both high schools. The district is planning on addressing the other halves of these high schools next summer. We then talked about rescinding a contract with Total Asphalt Technology that was for $51,000. In last month's meeting, the board had approved this contract for the high school parking lot maintenance I just talked about. As Gallagher is now a CoStarz member, the district is rescinding this contract with Total Asphalt to take advantage of the reduced rate being offered by Gallagher Construction. We then reviewed a contract for CertaPro painters for $11,283. The courtyard canopies at Welsh Valley Middle School need to be repainted. This contract was recommended through a district-run competitive bidding process by the administration. We then reviewed a contract with Kistler O'Brien for $8,704. This is a contract to clean and inspect the hoods, ducts, fans, and inspect the fire suppression systems in the kitchens in all 10 schools. We then reviewed a tri-state elevator contract for $684 per month and $198 per hour. This is a contract to inspect and conduct preventive maintenance on the elevators in district buildings. This contract was also recommended through a district-run competitive bidding process. The final contract on the purchasing report was for RF Design and Integration for $30,680. This is a contract to install a wireless repeater system on district buildings to enhance bus communications. I want to emphasize the contracts for Gallagher Construction, Kistler O'Brien, and RF Design were all bid through a statewide competitive cooperative bidding process. We then reviewed and recommended for approval a contract with Gallagher Benefit Services for $25,000. Gallagher will evaluate 2 health insurance programs, CPAS and the Bucks and Montgomery County Schools Consortium, to determine which provides the best benefits at a reasonable cost for district employees. We then reviewed and recommended for approval the following district contracts. The first one was for Achieve 3000 for $17,580. This will provide 4 teacher licenses and approximately 350 students to support differentiated literacy education for students at both middle schools and high schools. We then reviewed for a contract for College Board for $18,239. These will provide PSAT and NMSQT testing and grading for the 10th and 11th graders. We then reviewed a College Settlement Outdoor School contract for $7,600. This is a contract for the IB program retreat for 2 days in September. Keyboarding Without Tears at $8,665, a program to help elementary school students learn proper keyboarding techniques. Knowledge Matters for $12,240, a 3-year contract for the business department's entrepreneurial class. Power School, $30,429.01. This is a renewal contract for Performance Plus Bubble Reader and Performance Tracker that allow teachers and parents to track students' performance. ProQuest, $41,160, a one-year contract to various periodical publications. QuestStar, $10,480, a renewal contract to an online tool that assesses degree of reading power, DRP. Another contract for Achieve 3000 for $17,580. This is another renewal contract to provide differentiated reading instruction for special ed students at the secondary level. Lmsb, for $14,225. A new contract, even though the district has used this product in the past, that provides a web-based assessment and data management reporting system to monitor student progress. The American Red Cross, for approximately $25,500, will provide first aid, CPR, AED, bloodborne pathogens, and the use of EpiPens training for all new staff, as well as recertification for instructional aides. Amy Barnett, for not to exceed $25,000. This is a one-year contract for Mrs. Barnett to train district teachers in the use of the Wilson Reading System. Teachers must receive this training before becoming certified in the Wilson Reading System, and Mrs. Barnett will provide that training. Bayada Home Healthcare, hourly rate of either $49.95 with a minimum 4-hour allotment. Provide nurses on an as-needed basis as substitute nurses in schools and support for field trips. Pearson Learning Assessments, for $15,004.70, provides learning assessment tools for elementary and secondary students in math and reading. The Lincoln Center, $153,000, provides 2 full-time teach counselors to the district to assist with mental health counseling. Wilson Language Training, not to exceed $18,000, a renewal contract to provide literacy support and materials. We then went on to review and recommended for approval 2 contracts with Presidio. The first is for network equipment to be installed at the modular classrooms at Ballackinwood Middle School for $14,905. Second contract is the annual maintenance and support for Lancope hardware and software for $16,422.64. This equipment allows the district's IT personnel to monitor the occurrences of communications between devices, but not the content of those communications. This is very helpful in tracking malicious software before it can spread throughout the district's network. We reviewed and recommended for approval a renewal contract for Kronos for $53,092.44. This is the annual software maintenance for the system that manages certain aspects of employee relations, such as the time clock, etc. The district did investigate other employee management solutions, but none have the functionality the district requires, as well as the Kronos system. So we renewed for another year. We reviewed and recommended for approval 2 contracts with Netrix, a renewal contract for annual support and maintenance for Netrix Auditor for $8,460. This software logs events on district servers, such as when a user accesses a particular server. This allows for easier network maintenance. The second contract is for the Netrix Auditor file server, $12,487.50. This product also logs events, but more on the file basis, as on the files located on district servers. Again, this provides valuable information to the IS department to maintain the district's network. We reviewed and recommended for approval a 3-year renewal contract for School Messenger for $42,762.46. School Messenger is used to notify families of urgent events such as school closings. By executing a 3-year deal, we reduced the overall cost by approximately $4,762.46. We reviewed and recommended for approval a renewal contract with Ironport, including an advanced malware protection for $24,555. Ironport scans email to detect spam, viruses, malware, etc. We then reviewed and recommended for approval a renewal lease with the Marion Aquatic Club for a payment to the district of $32,500. The Aquatic Club uses this pool at Lower Marion High School for community swim and swim instructions. We reviewed and recommended for approval a renewal contract with MELC for a payment of $24,150. MELC rents spaces at the 6 elementary schools for before-school and after-school student programs. We finally reviewed and recommended for approval a contract with Shepherd Restoration Engineers for $29,950. The retaining wall along Maniac Road at Ballackinwood Middle School needs repair. Shepherd will provide the engineering plans and designs for the repair work to be done next summer. After that, we then received information regarding the Ballackinwood Middle School modular project. 6 modular classrooms have been set in place. Utility work was ongoing, and it hopefully should be finished soon, such that the 2 bathroom units will be set sometime in the near future. There's been no foreseeable issues. It's progressing quite nicely and should be ready for school in September. Our next Facilities and Purchasing Committee meeting will be on August 17th at 8:30 in this room. Thank you.
Under Business Office and Finance, I'm going to take items C through J in one motion unless a board member would like me to separate any particular item. Seeing that there is none, the administration recommends the Board of School Directors approve the following action items. Approve the list of bills, approve the financial report for June 2017, receipt of the fourth quarter student activity reports. Accept with pleasure pursuant to policy 7.2 donations of $529 from the Vanguard Charitable to Gladwin Elementary Autism Support Program, and a water filling station from the Harrington High School Home and School Association to Harrington High School, valued at approximately $1,400. Approve the consulting agreement and addendum with Gallagher Benefit Services in the amount of $25,000. Approve the Flume agreement and authorize the execution of the settlement agreement and accompanying declaration pending finalization of the exhibits. Approve the proposal for professional services regarding property assessment appeals with Valbridge Property Advisors, Lukens and Wolf LLC, in the form presented, and declare surplus material and equipment as surplus property and authorize the disposition thereof.
There are questions? Again, thank you to Mr. Driscoll for the detail and the facilities update. There a motion to approve?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Under the facilities and operations sections, I'm going to take items 8 through J in one motion. All these items were reviewed at the Facilities and Purchasing Committee as noted in Mr. Driscoll's report. The administration recommends that Board of School Directors approve the following action items. Award the contract to Seal Coat Asphalt at Harrington and Lower Marion High Schools to the contractor named in the attached purchase report. Rescind the prior approval to the contractor name in the attached purchase report for the Seal Coat Asphalt at Harrington and Lower Marion High School. Award the bid to the contractor named in the attached purchase report to repair and paint the courtyard canopies at Walsh Valley Middle School. Award the contract to clean kitchen hoods, ducts, fans, inspection, and certification of Ansel Systems to the contractor named in the attached purchase report. Award the bid to the contractor in the attached purchase report for the elevator preventive maintenance and inspection service for the amount noted in the report. And award the contract for the installation of bus radio repeater system to the contractor named in the purchase report. Approve the lease agreement with Montgomery County Early Learning Center to conduct before and after school childcare at the district elementary schools from September 1st, 2017 through June 30, 2018 in the amount of $24,150. Approve the license agreement with Lower Marion Aquatics Club for the use of Lower Marion High School swimming pool from September 5th, 2017 through June 22nd, 2018 in the amount of $32,500. Approve a 3-year renewal agreement with West Interactive Services Corporation, renewal of the school messenger notification system for a total cost of $42,862.09. Approve the individual work order for Shepherd Restoration Engineers based on the proposal for design and specifications and contract administration for repairs to the Mason Wall for not to exceed amount of $29,950. Approve the quote from E Plus for the annual harbor maintenance and license renewal for the Cisco Ironport email spam filtering device in the amount of $24,555. Approve the quote for Networks Corporation for software auditing, file access, and modification in the amount of $12,487.50. Approve the quote for Networks Corporation for the annual support and maintenance of the Networks auditor in the amount of $8,460. Approve the quote from Presidio Network Solutions for Cisco network equipment for the Balacuan Middle School modular classrooms in the amount of $14,905. And approve the quote from Presidio Network Solutions for maintenance and support contract for Landcoat hardware and software in the amount of $16,420.64.
Are there questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
There a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We will now have audience recognition on both agenda and non-agenda items. Again, I invite you to sign in with Ms. LaPera. There's a 3-minute time limit. If you could give us your name and generally where you reside in the district, we'll open it up to public comment at this time.
can start. You just announce who you are and you take the town and everything. Thank you. It just goes right there.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Shelby Sparrow at Penwyn. I just wanted to ask, with the enrollment issues that are going on, I know there were the demographic studies in the fall, and I know it's only mid-July, but are the numbers looking like the projections were on track, or are they grossly higher, grossly lower? Just a feel for the accuracy of the demographic report that was issued last fall. And if this fall, there's going to be another request for an update of the projections, given, after the 10-day numbers come out?
Did you have additional questions, Ms. Sparrow? If you could ask them all
I
at the
do.
same,
Oh.
if you could ask them all, and then we'll have a response for you.
Sure, perfect. That was that. Also on the survey. Thank you for doing the survey. I think it also, in addition to offering people a chance to voice their opinions, had a really nice educational component to it that I think was really important for raising awareness about the issues with enrollment that you all are trying to solve. So I think that was really helpful. I know it's closed now. Do you know when the results will be released to the public? That's my next question. And are you working with the township staff actively to identify land? I know that there's not, it's not an easy thing to do, but I know there was some conversation of trying to find land for a third middle school, and I just thought I would ask about that, if there's any update on that. And this past Thursday, I was at the Facilities and Purchasing meeting, and there was a timeline for the approval process for permanent expansion at Penwyn. And that had not been on the agenda, and just knowing what a sensitive subject that really is, if there could just, next time, if something like that is not on the agenda, since those meetings are not recorded, if someone could just give us a heads up about that, we would really appreciate it. That's all.
Sure. In terms of enrollment, I hesitate to say exactly where we are because we get an awful lot during the summer, particularly from multiple occupancy units. So some look like they're on track, some not necessarily. Overall, we're running about 100 in the elementary. I shouldn't say 100. 100 overall, more registrations than last year at this time. So I feel a little bit more comfortable maybe in August saying, where we are with that. In terms of the demographers, we're debating that now. We're leaning to recommending that both demographers come in. And I think that's, and the survey results. The survey is closed right now. We have some quantitative data, but what Dr. Paul is doing right now is trying to synthesize some of the comments. So
Right.
not sure, but I'd say pretty soon.
Okay.
Find the land.
And the land, we have our own realtor that we're working with. If people tell us that sometimes township staff says, you ought to look here, you ought to look there, we do that too.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker. Mr. Churchill.
Thank you. I'm Rick Churchill. I'm from Penwyn. I'd first I read an article, I guess in the Mainline Times, saying that Harrington and Lower Merion scored very well in the STEM, program. I think third and fourth in the state, so I should give kudos to where kudos deserve. I would like to make a comment and a suggestion. As the board is aware of, I have an issue with the impervious surface at Penwyn School. I've been told that legally, because of a unintended consequence, that the school district can construct up to 49% impervious surface at that school. I would like, and I recognize that the township recognizes that there was a loophole that you folks would be allowed to do this. First, I'd like to give a little history. Back in 1999, the school board asked for impervious surface at Penn Win to be expanded to 47%, and it was voted down. In 2002, there was a need for expansion at Penn Win School. They could not do it with the current zoning. And what the township did was that they rezoned. They kept half of the property where it was at an R4 zoning, and they rezoned the other half R5. Thus, it was allowed that the permanent expansion could occur in 2002. The unintended consequence of this, and the township acknowledges that it was their fault, that under current zoning, that you could expand the R5 zoning an extra 100 feet, which would essentially mean that all of Penn Win School was zoned R5, and thus the 49% impervious surface. This was never intended. What I would ask the board is, I would ask them to do the right thing and to refrain from 49% impervious surface and to go back to what was intended, 45. And I would ask that if you would actually vote on this in public so that we'll all know your position. I know you're all good people. I know you all do the right thing, and I appreciate your time very much. Thank you.
Mr. Roos, could you just overview the impervious surface issue that has come up from a legal perspective?
Well, yes, I'd be happy to. There was a question that was raised regarding a particular proposal that had been proposed for Penn Win expansion during a meeting among school district and township representatives, is when the township disclosed that they believed that the 45% impervious surface was the correct. It has now since been clarified through the township's land development attorney and through the township solicitor that, as Mr. Churchill said, it is 49%. That is the correct amount. That's the, I suppose it's a matter of opinion as to what was intended, what wasn't intended, whatever, but it's clear at this point there's no legal dispute that it's 49%.
Thank you, Mr. Roos. And that's it for public comment. And we are now back at you, Mr. Roos, for Sunshine Update.
Thank you. As noted, there was executive sessions held on June 21st, 29th, July 6th, and July 17th. At all four of those, there was litigation regarding, or discussion regarding the budget litigation. Additionally, at the July 17th, tonight's executive session, discussion regarding the Flume case settlement, which was on the agenda, assessment appeal litigation, and also a real estate matter.
Thank you, Mr. Roos. And our upcoming meeting dates are Monday, August 21st, regular business board meeting of school directors and committee meeting, Thursday, August 17th, facilities and purchasing. And with that, we're adjourned. Thank you.